Welcome to the Whiskey Explorer. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode, guys. And if this is your first time on the channel, if you could please do us a quick favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let us know if you were lucky enough to try this bourbon, and we'll get the conversation continued at the Whiskey Explorer. Alright guys, and also if you haven't done so already, you can follow me on Instagram at Whiskey Explorer 1. Alright, so tonight guys, we've got a very exciting review, something unique and different. We have got the Knob Creek Limited Edition 15-year-old. Alright guys, so this was a limited edition from Knob Creek, and this one here comes in at 100 proof and is an awesome age stated 15 years old. So this is Knob Creek at 15 years. Can't wait to get into this one here with you guys. The MSRP on this was about $100 US, but of course as it came across the border with the exchange rate and with the duty and all that stuff on bourbon, it was quite a bit more here in Canada. I actually didn't see it on the shelves, but I know that it was probably, I'm going to say, around the $200 mark, somewhere very close to that, if not the full 200. So definitely a little bit of a pricier one here, but we'll definitely get into the bourbon here. So this one here is not like the 12-year where it's going to be a regular release. This was actually a limited edition, so I don't know how many more releases of this 15-year we're actually going to get to see. So it's also a very beautiful presentation on the bottle here. Just love that, and I'll show you guys some of that in the B-roll. Just a wonderful kind of burgundy and gold motif here. 15-year-old Knob Creek at 100 proof. Awesome stuff. All right, so it also has the new Jim Beam wax, which is a lot easier than the old stuff. We've just got a pull tab that you can just tear and the wax comes loose. So much better user experience with that one as well. All right, guys, so let's get into the color in the glass here. So I have let this one here sit, and actually just as I'm kind of showing you guys the color in the glass, I can already get the nose of this one here. It's quite prominent coming out of the glass here, jumping out. So there's a quick look at the color in the glass. It is definitely like a medium to dark copper in the glass. Just a beautiful, really rich and inviting color on this one. All right, guys, let's go in for a nose. Cheers. Alright, so the first thing that I get on the nose is like a really nice, inviting, kind of candied cherry nose. Deep, dark cherry, but almost like confectionery, so it's definitely a very sweet cherry, and that's mixed in with this kind of enveloping of vanilla on the nose. And I do actually get some of that rich, sweet oak on the nose as well, so that's very nice to find in the nose. And then there's brown sugar and a little bit of light baking spices. Let's see if I can go and find anything else in the glass for you guys. Cheers. Oh wow, okay, so that oak note that I was talking about, that is super jumping forth now. That's almost more of the predominant note now, is that really nice, deep, dark, rich oak note. It's fantastic. This is not like your young, astringent oak nose. This is like your old, dusty library, kind of old, dusty book funk. Definitely a nice, old, musty, dusty kind of oak note here. Just a fantastic nose, super inviting here, guys. That sweet cherry. Definitely tons of oak on the nose. Brown sugar, vanilla. Some spicing coming through as well, so like some cinnamon spice, maybe some black pepper as well. Well, I can't wait to taste this one with you guys on the palate. Wow. Okay, so this is a very full, rich palate. The arrival is sweet, deep, dark cherry, kind of that jammy fruit note, mixed in with vanilla, almost like vanilla cream, like cherries and ice cream. But then right kind of at the front of the palate and mid palate, you get that beautiful, deep, dark, rich oak note. It's like sweet oak, a little bit of funkiness there. Just a delicious, super well-balanced bourbon, because after that sort of wood note comes in, the spices start to play. So there's some nice like black cracked pepper, some cinnamon, some cloves, some nutmeg, like the baking spices are in there. And it is also, even though it's 100 proof, it's a 15-year-old bourbon, so there is some mouth coating to this experience. So it does actually envelop the palate like pretty well for, especially for a 100 proof bourbon. Really, really nice, long-lasting, lingering finish. This finish lasts forever. It's awesome. So that's a delicious bourbon. I'm gonna go in for another sip here, guys. Cheers. Interesting. So this time on the palate, there was actually a little bit, I took a really big sip. There was actually a lead-in of that oak. And that's what sort of led the front of the palate, was that deep, dark, and rich sort of oak note enveloped with some molasses, brown sugar. Then that gave way to that deep, dark fruit note, the dark fruit, the cherries. Then there's like vanilla cream mixed in there. Then some caramel and butterscotch come into play. Then there's like just a nice rich spice at the end. So you can definitely get the rye spice coming through. So there's like cracked pepper, a little bit of cayenne pepper even maybe. It is quite spicy. Cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, as I mentioned. So that's just a fantastic bourbon, guys. And it makes me wish that this was a regular Knob Creek release, because this at 15 years is absolutely fantastic. So if you guys happen to see a dusty of this sitting on the shelf, go and grab it, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. Thanks so much for tuning in for another review, guys. Until next time, may your sails be full and your drowns be fuller. Cheers.